Okay, class, this week we're going to work on Wordly Wise List 3. We will have a quiz on Friday, which means you will also have note cards due on Friday. So remember, the note cards have two sides. One side has your name, the vocabulary word, and the part of speech. And on the back, you have the definition, a sentence, and two synonyms and two antonyms. With relation to the sentence, make sure that you are underlining or highlighting the word in the sentence as well, because if you're not, that will cost you points, as some of you noticed from your last set of note cards. Okay, so the first example, or the first word we have here, is atrophy. Is to waste away or fail to develop. So atrophy, thinking of the idea of if someone is sick, their body starts to atrophy. It starts to lose weight, it starts to become pale and frail, and so it has that wasting away effect. On the other side, you have someone that fails sometimes to develop, so they're smaller in size, they're smaller in weight, so they have that atrophy of their body in mind. Efficacy is a noun, the power to bring about the desired result or effectiveness. So it's that idea of if you have efficacy, you have that power to bring this result. You have that power to be effective, and it's the effectiveness of something. So it is that noun form in there. So it's that idea of that end result of a program or of a project or a book or something like that. Emoluments is a noun, salary or fees for work done or compensation. So like if you have a job and you get a paycheck, that's your emolument. Okay, so it's the idea of you did something for a company, so you're being compensated, and you're receiving a salary or fee or an emolument for it. Okay, icon is a noun. We have three different definitions here. A religious painting, especially one reserved by the Eastern Christian churches, as in one that they look up to and keep. So if you actually look here, this would be an icon painting, the idea of a painting of Jesus holding a book in the original Hebrew. It's very religious, very iconic, and has that idea in there of the first definition. And second one, a symbol or image whose form suggests its meaning, or one who is idolized. So an icon is someone we look up to, is someone we idolize. So that idea of looking up to Jesus, it could be looking up to an athlete, it could be looking up to a parent, a politician, but something that you like place on a pedestal almost, and you look up to them. Okay, incipient is an adjective beginning to exist or appear or in the first stage. So something and it's an incipient stage. So if we look at the transition here of a frog, the idea of the egg is its incipient phase before it goes to a tadpole and moving up through the different stages before it actually becomes a frog. So this egg is its beginning stage or its incipient stage. Okay? Inculcate is a verb, to impress upon or teach by frequent repetition. So this is something teachers do a lot. We inculcate things. We repeat things a lot. So when I say things in class a lot and it seems like I'm repeating terms and words and phrases, it's because I'm inculcating those or I'm impressing those on you by frequently repeating them. Inestimable. It's an adjective, it's too valuable or great to be measured, or it's what we would consider priceless. I always think of those commercials that do the idea of a dad taking his kid to a ball game, and it talks about how much the tickets are, how much the food was, and the foam finger he bought for them, how much it was, but at the end it goes result priceless. So that's inestimable. It's the idea that it's too great to be measured, that there's really no worth to it, or it's so valuable that there's almost no worth to it. Okay, the next one is lackluster. It's an adjective, lacking brightness or vitality or without spirit or enthusiasm. So I think of this as something that's dull. So it doesn't have that shine to it. It doesn't have that vitality and energy and enthusiasm to it. So it's just kind of dull. It could be someone's lackluster performance. So it's like someone, when they performed, they didn't really shine, and people didn't really pay much attention to them because they didn't do everything they needed to do. So their performance was lackluster. Whereas then you have those people who just do these awesome, amazing performances and end up winning Oscars and stuff for it. Those are not lackluster performances. The next one, a martinet, is a noun. A strict disciplinarian. So this is someone who lays down the law, who you know you have to follow it or you're going to get in trouble. And they're very strict. Usually in each household you have a martinet. You have, or in each family you have someone that, I don't want to say you're scared of, but there's someone that you know that that's the disciplinarian of the family. And you know that you don't cross them. You know that you follow those rules. You know what you're supposed to do. Bosses can sometimes be martinets. A dean could be a martinet, but that idea of if they have that strict disciplinarian side in them. Prejus. The D and the G kind of blend together in this case. Prejus. Adjective. Two definitions. Extremely large in bulk, quantity, or degree. Or causing amazement or wonder. So the idea of the first definition is that it's very, very large. So ships, elephants can even be prodigious, but that idea of there's so much quantity and bulk to it that it causes that amazement or wonder to it. Okay, regimen is a regulated program. This is one that we usually fit with the idea of improving or maintaining health. So in the morning you get up at this time, you take you work out, you take a shower, you brush your teeth, you eat breakfast, and you eat this type of breakfast, but you follow that regimen. Okay. Military follows this a lot, where they wake up at 5:30, they do this, they do that, but it's very much fitting into that idea of that it's very regulated and very time oriented, but it's usually desired to improve or maintain someone's health. Okay, the next one, stellar, is an adjective. It's of or related to a star, or outstanding, or brilliant. So stellar itself means star. So if you look up in the sky and you see a star, it's stellar. But it's also on the other side of something being outstanding or brilliant. So it's that object that shines, that's bright, that's very brilliant in essence. So if you didn't notice here, that stellar is actually probably the antonym for lackluster. So you might actually want to include those on the cards for each other. Stoic is a noun, one seemingly indifferent to pleasure or pain. This one you usually see in someone's face if they have that stoic expression, whereas they don't laugh, they don't smile, and if they get hurt, they don't show any expression for it. And it has that mentality. Sometimes this fits with like serial killers. They have that lack of pleasure and that lack of pain within their face and their meanings. Okay, last two. Vibrant is an adjective, full of life or vigor, bright or vivid, or quivering or vibrating. So something that is vibrant is, again, fits with stellar and is the opposite of lackluster. So here you have synonyms and antonyms within the same list that fit here. But the last one, so quivering or vibrating, I think of this as guitar strings or cello strings, but they're vibrant and they actually quiver and vibrate when you move your fingers across them or when you move the the bow across it. So it actually has that brightness of that sound, and that sound is very full of life in there. And the last one, zealous. It's adjective. It's very enthusiastic, fervent, passionate on behalf of someone or something. So if you're zealous about something, you stand behind it and you believe in it and you talk about it and you protest over it. So I think of this as trying to get the Armenian genocide recognized when you do your marches, when you do your protesting, and that zealousness that you put into that passion and enthusiasm that people put into it, because it's something that they believe in that much that they become zealous for it. You also have the other side of some people become overzealous, that they do it too much that it becomes too much of their personality and their being and their meaning that it's the only thing they live for, and it usually becomes a negative aspect instead of a positive. Okay, so bring your Wordly Wise books to class with you tomorrow. Make sure that you're starting on your note cards because those are going to be due on Friday, and on Friday we will have a quiz as well. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.